Hey guys, welcome back to another Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 video, and we got some more leaks and just some new information and news about Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. So, really exciting. First off, let's start out with talking about Warzone. So, here we go. This is a leak coming from Ghost of Hope. He says exclusive. Treyarch will be leading map design for a new Warzone 2.0 map set to release alongside their premium release in 2024. Support studios will help with the asset creation / placement. So this will be really interesting. Treyarch will be leading, like he says, leading the design for a new Warzone 2 map. So basically this is what should have happened with Warzone, when Black Ops Cold War came out, is we were supposed to have the Ural Mountains Warzone map that didn't end up actually making it into Warzone for one reason or another. And so instead Treyarch just ported over, basically they ported over Rebirth, put Rebirth in the game, and then they also kind of redid Verdansk to Verdansk 1984 and whatever. But, they didn't get their own Treyarch Warzone map. At the time we still had Verdansk, and we also, still got this little side map. We got Rebirth, which was also still just basically ripped for Blackout. But, yeah, this will be the first time Treyarch is actually getting their own Warzone map proper, and so it says that it'll be releasing alongside their premium release in 2024. So is this going to be, the next map we get? Because, Modern Warfare 2 is supposed to be a 2-year game, right? So we have, a map, of course, coming out. We got Al Mazrah. We already know about it. It's going to be coming out with Warzone 2 when it releases. I posted a video recently talking about how Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep are being removed from Warzone 1 when Warzone 2 releases, but we don't have any more information about that. So, is that confirmation that those maps are going to be implemented and ported over into Warzone 2? They're going to be implemented into the new Warzone 2 engine and become playable in that game? Or are they just going to be removed altogether, never to be seen from, just like we had with Verdansk? To me, it seems the most plausible that they're going to be ported over and they're going to be part of Warzone 2. Activision wants players to be playing Warzone 2, to be playing the newest one. So apparently in their minds, the way they do that is by taking two of the most popular maps and just literally cutting them out of Warzone 1 and putting them into Warzone 2, which I talked about in that video. If they do that, then all we're left with within Warzone 1 is literally Caldera for as long as Warzone 1 continues to be supported, which personally I give it maybe a year, so probably this time next year they'll be trying to cut off all support for Warzone 1. They'll be shutting down the servers, shutting it down, okay, Warzone 1 is done, go play Warzone 2. The game's been out for a year, you've had enough chance to, it'll literally be free, so there's no point in not. But they'll be okay, now go play Warzone 2. And by then, they'll have Al Mazrah, potentially they'll have Rebirth and Fortune's Keep in there. But it's kind of curious, are they going to have a new map? Is Infinity Ward going to put out a new full map next year, this time next year for their year 2 of it? I could see that. I think that would help bridge the gap between, Modern Warfare 2 and the next Black Ops game. But then let's continue on here. So Ghost Hope says, just to add on, this is basically how map delivery is working under Infinity Ward currently for Warzone 2. Infinity Ward designs the maps, then support studios are creating the placeable assets. So that's interesting. So basically, what it sounds like is the Infinity Ward, like he says here, they're creating the map. So they design it and they go, okay, here is the layout of the map. Here's what we want where. But then they just turn that over to their support studios, such as Raven, Toys for Bob, Beanox, and High Moon, and they turn it over to those studios and they go, okay, you guys actually build the map. You guys go through and you place all the assets, you guys texture it, you guys get the lighting, you guys get everything down, basically do the brunt of the work, but we're just going to design the map in our art style and our play style, make it an Infinity Ward map, but you guys are going to be doing the heavy lifting of it, which is smart because that's what support studios are there for. They're there to support the main studio and stuff like that, and it takes a lot off of Infinity Ward's plate. Those same designers and people and artists, they can instead work on more stuff for Modern Warfare 2, for multiplayer, something that Infinity Ward is leading, and they can focus on other stuff while we have these support studios focusing on that. So I think that's a very smart move. It kind of reminds me of how, say Black Ops Cold War worked, is that the campaign was pretty much mostly Raven, from what I understand. Raven was the ones who designed and made the campaign. Treyarch had some oversight on it, obviously, because it's a Black Ops game, it's their game. They get to basically kind of get the final say in everything, but Raven's, by and large, was the developer, behind the campaign for Black Ops Cold War. And then Treyarch was the ones behind the multiplayer and the zombies. So they were really focused on zombies. Treyarch zombies is sacred. They won't let any other studio take over development for zombies. You know, that's their bread and butter. They're going to be the ones doing that 100%. But I also seem to recall there was a job listing a while ago, earlier this year, for Treyarch, basically being like, hey, like, come work at our studio and you guys can, you know, help develop multiplayer and zombies. They really didn't say anything about campaign. They just said multiplayer and zombies, and that makes the most sense because, like I said, you know, it seems like campaign has been turned over to Raven. Raven is largely doing like campaigns and stuff, and also a lot of Warzone. Whereas like Treyarch and Infinity Ward will do their multiplayer, and then they'll also do like their third mode as well. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, this will help get a lot of the kind of the bulk of the work off of these lead studios, off of Sledgehammer, off of Infinity Ward, and off of Treyarch, so they can focus on other aspects of the game, and then these support studios can focus on like Warzone or the campaigns of these games. So it'd be kind of interesting. But I mean, this is our first confirmation of a new map coming to Warzone 2.0, is that, you know, we'll get at least another map coming in 2024. So with the launch, or shortly thereafter, the launch of the next Black Ops game, here come 2 years from now, is when, you know, we're going to be getting another Warzone 2 map. You know, like I said, I'd suspect we might get more maps between now and then. I would, you know, like, put money on that. I'm sure we're probably going to get Rebirth. I'm sure we're going to get Fortune's Keep, and I'm sure we're going to get some sort of new map next year. It's just kind of is going to be how it goes. But like I said earlier, this will be interesting to see, because this will be the first time Treyarch has actually like put one of their maps proper specifically into Warzone. Because like I said, Rebirth was literally them taking it right out of Blackout and putting it into the game. And then Verdansk 1984 was literally just a reskin of the map. It wasn't their own new map. They designed it, but they, you know, apparently had troubles at like porting it over and putting it into Warzone with the different engines, because they had like the Black Ops engine they were working off of, whereas Warzone is based off the new Modern Warfare engine. So apparently there's some technical difficulties there. They weren't able to get it to work, so instead Treyarch ended up using it for the Fire Team mode and then also for Outbreak. So I mean, it's a great use of resources. No, definitely not going to lie there. But it is interesting. And then lastly for this video, let's talk about this, a little bit of information leak about Modern Warfare 2, and this is that prestige tokens will return in Modern Warfare 2. So interesting. Another person said that you can potentially earn these prestige tokens within Warzone Mobile and also within Warzone 2.0, but you can only actually use these prestige tokens within Modern Warfare 2. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And I mean, these prestige tokens, like, they could, you know, this doesn't really mean a whole lot, because this could mean a ton of different things. They could be similar to the prestige key system that we have in like Black Ops Cold War, where, you know, every 50 levels you rank up, you technically prestige, and you get a key, which you can take into the prestige shop, and you can get like a new emblem or a calling card or whatever else. I think it's an interesting concept. You could also use it for blueprints, but it doesn't have the same appeal as with, you know, we had like back in Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 had a crazy cool prestige shop, but he says prestige tokens. So is this like a permanent prestige unlock token? How we had with, say, like Black Ops 2, where with Black Ops 2, every time you prestiged, you got a permanent unlock token, and you could use that to permanently unlock something at any level, and it would stay with you permanently no matter what level you were. So you could, you know, everybody always ended up using it on those items that were unlocked at like level 55 or level 54, you know, something way late in the game, because those weapons were usually really good, and they wanted to continue using them, or a score streak or a perk or something like that. You'd always permanently unlock it. That way, when you're on your grind to master prestige, you know, you always have that item with you, and you never have to worry about it. But ever since they've gotten rid of prestiging, then, you know, it, you know, obviously got rid of that too, because it has no purpose. Because if you're not prestiging, then you don't lose anything. Because now we just have the seasonal levels, which I still personally hate. I hate that concept. It's seriously trash. But I feel like Treyarch did an interesting concept with that, with Cold War, where we still had prestiges technically, but it's just literally every 50 levels you prestige, and you get a new, like, emblem, and you get like a calling card or whatever. You know, you get new stuff for it. You get a prestige unlock token, and you know, the prestige key, and some other stuff as well. So I mean, it's kind of cool. But at the same time, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same appeal because it's seasonal ranks. And I think the seasonal ranks could be done well, but seriously still, I'm just like, come on, man. Like, give me a challenge, you know? Like, it really kind of sucked with, say, Modern Warfare when that game first came out, is, you know, you had like 155 levels, and that was it. You literally had your initial 55, and then you had like your other ones. And then like Cold War, you had like your regular levels up to like 55, and then you had like your military levels, your military rank, and then you had your prestige ones after that. And you could get all the way up to, wasn't it just till like 100, or was it 150 in that game? You had like 3 prestiges when that game first came out, and then every season thereafter brought another 4, so you'd have to get up to 200 was your prestige master in each season. I don't know. It is what it is. It's iffy, I guess, but still, I think the whole system needs to be revamped. I don't get why they're doing this. I mean, I know why they've said they're doing this. They say, it's obviously, it's because it's like intimidating to new players and to casual players. And I'm like, why is it intimidating? Like, seriously, it makes no sense. Back in the olden days of like Modern Warfare 2 and 3, like, nobody is forcing you to prestige. Seriously, there's nothing incentivizing you to prestige other than, hey, you get like a new emblem. Which it's like, if you don't care about that, you can literally sit at level 70 or at level 80 or 55. You can sit at whatever level you want, and like you can just sit there. We had plenty of people. I remember back in the day, tons of people do that. Black Ops 2, they literally just got to commander and they just sat there. They never prestiged because they never wanted to lose anything. I mean, that's fair. Personally, I always prestige. As soon as I got the opportunity, boom, prestige. As soon as I got the opportunity next time, boom, prestige. Because I wanted to continue ranking up. So I don't know why we're taking away player choice in the name of, protecting casual players. It's like, what? Why? Because apparently it's intimidating to new players and to casual players to have the ability to prestige. I'm like, what? How is that intimidating? How is it more intimidating to just have, say, 10 prestiges of 55 levels each when the game first comes out, rather than, oh, hey, your rank got reset. So, like Timmy No Thumbs or whatever, who comes home after 10 hours a day of work and only has like 30 minutes to play. He comes home and then, oh shoot, a new season just began last night. Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, hey, now my rank literally got reset. Boom, back down to 55 or whatever. Just got reset during the season. Oh, dang. Okay, that kind of sucks. Like, to me, that gives me less incentive to play because every time a new season comes out, you literally get reset. So all that progress I did in that season is all for what? It's all for nothing? Like, sure, it's still like, oh, this is what level you got to last season. But, I mean, for what? Like, your levels don't stack on top of each other. So I don't know. Personally, I don't like that. I'd rather just have one continuous goal where you have, say, like Black Ops 4, I think did it best, where you had 10 prestiges and then 1,000 levels after that. And they literally had that from launch. So players who wanted to go all the way, you could do that. But if you only wanted to hit 55 and stay there, you could also do that. Like, seriously, it is so ridiculous in my mind that we're moving in this direction with this franchise of always removing player options and like player choice in the name of, to make it simpler, to make it less intimidating to casual players and whatever else. I'm like, no, dude, screw that. Like, seriously, back in the day, you didn't just like cry about it. Back in the day, like COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, if you got absolutely destroyed, it instead made you decide, okay, I'm going to try and get better at the game. I'm going to learn. I might go online and go on YouTube and look up some videos, how to get better at the game. It's not coddling players like they do now. I don't know why the franchise has turned in this direction, but it's kind of apparent that the franchise is almost never going to go away from this because apparently, oh no, we got all these players, which, I don't know, don't even get me started on this. I've kind of gone off on a rant here, but yeah, I think the whole introduction of Warzone, having to be free to play, it just kind of screwed up the franchise and took it in a weird direction. Ever since Modern Warfare 2019 came out, the franchise has kind of gone downhill, at least a little bit in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, got off track there. But that's basically it. Prestige tokens are coming back, as well as Treyarch will have a new Warzone 2 map coming out with their game in 2024, which also kind of confirms at this point too, in a weird roundabout way, that with Sledgehammer's game with Advanced Warfare 2 in 2025, we were also going to be getting a new map, which we also kind of suspected. We assumed that with every premium title's release, there's going to be a Warzone 2 map to coincide with it as well, so it just makes sense. But yeah, I don't know, we're gonna have to hear more about it. We still haven't heard a ton about Warzone 2. Like, seriously, we're coming up on the release of it and we still haven't heard a whole ton about it. Like, haven't heard a ton about DMZ. We've only gotten like one trailer, and then we just had like, a couple hours of gameplay of people just playing it. But like, seriously, like, are they gonna talk more about it, release more trailers or anything? Are they literally gonna say anything about the game? No, instead they're gonna release little 15-second snippets of the campaign for Modern Warfare 2. Like, seriously, dude, I don't know what their marketing department is doing. They're just straight up like, they're taking a smoke break, dude. But yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. I know I got a little long-winded on this one. I apologize for that, but if you guys stuck around all the way to the very end, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.